Joining me now is Alastair Stewart. He's a newscaster with ITV News. You've probably seen him on the news at 10, and you've just picked up an honorary degree here at the University of Sunderland, here at the Stadium of Light. So how does that feel?
Feels absolutely fantastic. The University of Sunderland has a brilliant track record, particularly on broadcast journalism, which is the bit I'm interested in, but across the board. And to be offered an honorary degree by the university because of what I do for a living, by people who train the next generation who are going to take over from me, is terrific. I mean, it sounds quite troubling as well, thinking, thank you very much indeed, and in this audience today are the people who are going to kick me out and take over. I don't begrudge it at all, because what matters to me is high quality broadcast journalism going forward, and the University of Sunderland produces brilliant people who will be doing it. So to be in their company is a genuine honour.
Excellent, excellent. And of course, journalism is changing an awful lot. I mean, we've seen with the Leveson inquiry and the phone hacking scandal. How do you sort of see the future of journalism considering inquiries like that?
I think what Leveson tells us is that the divide between print journalism and the law that applies to it, and broadcast journalism and the laws that apply to us, are crucial. And I think we've got it right. In the BBC's Royal Charter and in the Broadcasting Act, under which ITV and all commercial broadcasters operate, we have to be impartial. We have to be balanced. We have to say, Mr. Cameron says so-and-so on the one hand, Mr. Miliband says so-and-so on the other hand. It's up to you now to make your minds up at home. And we don't go for the sensationalist sort of mudslinging stuff that newspapers do. And newspapers are entitled to do that, but it's dead easy in that world to cross the line and start to do stuff that really is just not acceptable and is nudging at breaking the law, and in some cases breaking the law. So I think what we've got is good, and I suspect it may well be that Leveson will take some of what we've got, that self-regulation but under the law clearly stated about impartiality and honourable behaviour, maybe knocked on the door of newspapers as well. I'm not sure that would be a bad thing.
So like we've already mentioned, you do the news at 6:30, and so how do you prepare for that?
It's 24/7. And it's one of the real tricks of the trade that these young men and women who are graduating today and want to go into the business need to understand. You never stop working as hard as you did for your GCSEs, your A-levels, and now today for your degree. It's all about reading as much as you can, listening to people as much as you can, radio, television, the competition, political biographies, if that's what you're into, the latest magazines from the political world or economic journal, whatever. It's just hard graft, because the minute you stand in front of the camera and then you start speaking, that's fine. That's your moment, you've captured it. But you don't know what the next thing is. You knew you were going to be talking to me today, so you've done a bit of homework and looked it up, and that's great, and I'm honoured and pleased that you did. But you don't know the next story that you're going to cover. So if you haven't read all of the papers this morning and listened to the midnight news last night and whatever it was first thing this morning, you're not going to be prepared. So it is really about hard work. I mean, a bit of spark, good name, a bit of charisma, a bit of drive, but basically do the homework, know the facts.
So just one final question.
Yeah.
Could I have 5 tips for a trainee broadcast journalist?
Always give notice, first of all, to people of complicated questions. My 5 tips. Keep things as short as possible. Economy of words. Secondly, accuracy is everything. If you can't be accurate, why should anybody believe you? Thirdly, make sure in a news bulletin that you've got the stories in the right order. What matters to most people is really very, very important. Fourthly, always have a backup question, because if you ask me a question and I give you a monosyllabic answer, and you've still got to fill a minute and a half, you need to know about your subject so well that you can think, oh blimey, I'm going to need 5 questions, not just the 2. And the main tip is the one I mentioned to you earlier on, more important than any, is read, learn, study, remember. Treat the job as an extension of your schoolwork, your university work, and what have you, and you won't go wrong. As long as you know what you're talking about, then you're kind of entitled to talk about it.
Excellent. Alastair Stewart, thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.